Alright, going to do a series of videos on this book here, Better Never to Have Been, by David Benatar. Yep, so I'm going to read like 3 pages at a time. Okay, it was going to be 2, but yeah, I better make it 3. And then I'll just highlight the little points. I mean, there's always something good in a sentence somewhere. So I'm in the introduction. Okay, pretty cover. It's pretty enough. Little sunset, blah, blah, blah. Alright, so, yeah, but there's, these are just nice little statements. Those who never existed cannot be deprived. I mean, this basically is the concept. There is no negative state in not being. You're not in you don't go to a purgatory or to a hell. That's not where you existed before you came into existence. So there's absolutely, that is the fail-safe. It's fail-safe. It's cleaned of all negative potential. I go further in arguing. See, it's kind of coincidental this guy came out with this book just when all of my videos were coming right to this fucking, I'm going to try not to swear in these videos, right to this argument, life is just too stupid to justify or defend or perpetuate, or you can't do anything with it, you can't make anything out of it, because it's basically all made out of trying to fix broken. That's all our whole brain is focused on, is the broken is something that's hurting someone, even yourself mostly, that's, be honest, and your brain basically functions to try to get you help, to try to get you repaired, to fix that empty, to fix that lacking, to fix that wanting. And so yeah, I mean, all being alive is being broken. Okay, you come into brokenness, and now you need fixing, and that's all that can be accomplished. Any good you do in the world is basically to help fix somebody else or something else that's going to affect things that need to be fixed, so to speak. So yeah, so it says one little sentence. He kind of says, yeah, the book's over right there. Yeah, we're all done. Fail safe is cool. Yeah, it's a good thing. That's the place to be. Yeah, don't play with matches. Yeah, just don't do it. Don't play with nuclear bombs. And guess what? You won't be playing with them if you don't exist. Anyway, alright, so next sentence. Existence, far from ever constituting a net benefit, always constitutes a net harm. So I think, in his words there, he's basically making my argument. That's all made out of negative. I mean, all you're going to do is try to satisfy your deprivations, your emptinesses, your lackings, your dependencies, your addictions. That's all they are. This illusion that the potato chip has value, and you're going to chase it and eat it and say, oh, that felt good. Or the whatever, the woman or the other, fill in the blank for the desirable entity. And it's all a contrivance of your internal psychology. It has nothing to do with the real circumstance, wherein if you witness somebody in pain or suffering, it's quite obvious that suffering there's no perceptual component. You can't perceptually change that reality. The reality is in the suffering being, not in your perception anymore. Clear distinction between how we derive pleasure and the actual value of suffering in the world. These two things, pain and pleasure, are not the same thing. They are not exact opposites, and they certainly do not exist in the world in any kind of rational proportion. Alright, procreation is usually the consequence of sex rather than the result of a decision to bring people into existence. Yeah, I mean, the point's got to be conceded. And even if there's a deliberate will to have a baby, the baby isn't a people. It's just like kids with, pets. Oh yeah, I'll take care of it. 2 weeks later, they're bored. The rabbit's starving to death outside. Yeah, it's a little plaything. All right, and as soon as it's not cute and fun, then people are swearing at it and beating it and doing all this other kind of crap and throwing it in the, out into the streets to gain its survival. So it is a rather insidious bullshit. If you looked inside of people's heads, what's going on in there when they decide to have a family, a lot of it's just an ego game. I want something to flash around. I want something in my wallet, to point people to say, see, I'm a regular human. I'm not a pervert. I'm not a sick motherfucker. I say I have a family. It's just a beard to disguise their futility in life. I mean something. I am relevant because I've left behind little serpents of doom. But anyway, here's an important sentence right here in the introduction. I'm only on page 2 of the introduction. My argument applies not only to humans but also to all other sentient beings. So there, he says it right there clearly. This is about life on Earth. It's about the DNA mechanism. It's about this consumption, reproduction, cannibalism, and addiction thing. And it just can't go anywhere. It's made out of crap. It's a need machine. It's creating need that doesn't need to exist. I mean, it's really, it's not here. But yeah, that's an important one too. I would highlight it if it was in here, but it's not in here. Not yet. We'll see if he gets to that. This is because sentient existence comes at a significant cost. So he's using my kind of language, economics here. This isn't fail-safe. This isn't free. There's a huge downside liability, and people are just saying, well, look, here's the lottery winners over here. And they're just highlighting that, and they're just looking at the lottery winners, who are sort of losers in many ways. And they're just ignoring all the families that went bankrupt or didn't pay their bills or didn't pay for their heat or completely ruined, didn't pay their mortgage because they were out buying lottery tickets. And so they don't look at the huge social cost for this little tiny island of, oh, I'm happy, and that only lasts a week or two, and then they're like, mortgage to the hilt and looking for more money, looking for some other way to rip somebody else off. I mean, if you want to find somebody who's going to get into a racket, go find a lottery winner, because they'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge, because they'll be in debt soon enough. Anyway, it's a whole nother subject of another, perhaps different book. Alright, next, I think that coming into existence harms all sentient beings. There, I'm just highlighting that he says it again. Okay, existence is the problem. Being a living thing is the problem. That's the nature of the problem. We just happen to be the most intelligent one, so we can look at it, we can analyze what it is to be one of these little consuming and reproducing monsters. The other animals they don't have no hope of doing that. They're just caught up in the cycle. They don't know they're reproducing, they don't know what kind of horror they're in for, they have no idea how the structure of the mechanism is. All they have is their deprivation, their desire, and their need to, bang the spokes on the wheel. I heard a Dawkins thing the other day. Well, he said a lot of garbage, but he did talk a little bit about like they put a beaver in an empty room, and he just makes invisible dams because that's all he knows how to do. He just has to make a dam, and even if there's no sticks and there's no river and there's no any trees, he'll just pretend because he needs to build a dam. And that's all we're doing. We're just pretending. Life is crap, and you're just shaping it into some kind of, Mr. Hanky so you can have a conversation with it. But it's crap, people. Come on. Alright, lastly, but not leastly, because we can act. So the reason why he's focusing on humans, he says, is basically because we can act. The other animals can't. They're dumb. They have no. They just we have to basically function in to their benefit. He did bring up a little footnote about animals getting eaten and all that kind of stuff, and farming and breeding of animals, and he's against all that crap, obviously. So yeah, good guy, all around good guy. So he starts this third page talking about some Freud joke. I didn't think it was all that funny, a Freud joke, so I won't even bother with that part. And it probably might be more related to the next 3 pages, so I'll wait till I get to the next 3 pages. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I probably like this guy, and David Benatar, and yeah, so in the first 3 pages of the introduction, yeah, there's arguments right there that you can't defeat, and they're just so simple. Okay, the fact is, you can't do any harm if you don't do any harm. If you don't create the potential for harm, there's no harm to be done. And the only way you create potential for harm is to create a vulnerable, sentient being that can have harm fall upon it. Don't create the victim and it no longer matters whether pianos are falling, you know, or whatever, however you want to metaphor it. So anyway, video number 1, I guess I'll title these like, whatever, I'll have to acronym it, BN2HB, so I'll title them never to the blah blah blah, and maybe I'll put David, maybe I'll put Benatar then, Benatar, his name in the title, and then a colon, and chapter 1, no, volume, yeah, something like that, and then maybe some other little words, I don't know. I guess I shouldn't do any other words. Keep it very sterile. Yeah, sterile. Get it? Sterile. Sterilize. Good. Pretty little sunsets, very quiet. Ooh, it's nice and quiet. Anyway, until next time.